Hello and welcome to Smoking Underground in the My Father Cigar Lounge and Studio. I almost said behind the curtain. I kid you not.
Golly, pitted prunes again.
Pitted prunes again.
Oh,
that doesn't count for a saying because we just did it right in the beginning. Has to be after the 10-second mark and before the 1 second at the end. That's my internal rule. Thank you for joining us today. I am the hostess with the mostest, Devin, and here is the other hostess with the mostest, Gary.
Hello. Glad you guys are actually taking time out today to join us today at Cigars More on 280. This is the state's biggest cigar lounge. I'm going to go ahead and just step out there, take that, and
say it, don't spray it.
We're going to do it, baby. I'm telling you. So appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to listen to two guys just talk about cigars. If you're gonna
talk about people,
yeah, buddy. If you're gonna sign on today, or if you're gonna interact with us today, please do so. Let us know what you're smoking, drinking, and everything else that goes with it.
Even if you're not smoking and you're just watching us, just say hello.
Hello.
You know?
Indeed. Glad to hear from you.
Somebody commented right here. I can't see the comment, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
And that is John, and our producer.
I always make the intro a little different.
Yes, indeed.
We had sound quality.
And I want to do a special shout out right in the beginning to Mr. Sean, who is here in the Cigar Lounge right now watching.
There's Sean. Welcome, Sean. Appreciate you doing that.
Him.
Yeah, big time of taking time out of your day to do that as well.
He's an out-of-towner. I was chatting with him. Hangs out in a cigar lounge in Anniston, Alabama.
Oh, nice.
Really? Okay. Anniston. I didn't know there was a cigar lounge in Anniston. Okay, well, good.
How dare you?
Well, I know.
How dare you?
Well, when you
don't think Anistonians like to smoke?
When you circle around Cigars and More in Vitola, that's about all. You know, sorry,
okay.
But
I'll be honest. He dropped a couple of names of cigars they have that I've been wanting to.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
He said it's more of a. I want to say he didn't use the term, but Cigar Geek. They have a lot more of those. Harder to find, not necessarily harder to find, but more of the niche cigars.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay,
that's good.
All right,
that's good stuff. I like rare niche cigars.
Yeah,
boutique, if you will.
We are good to be here today. Remember, if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And then, here we go. Hey, what's up, Samantha?
The Lajero Leaf LLC.
Ooh,
really?
In Anniston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding. You have to check it out. Never know.
Samantha there is my content manager for my Discord.
Hello. Who's it? Samantha?
Samantha.
Yeah. Hey, Sam. Do you go by Sam?
She does.
I hope so. Because I went ahead and did that. Yeah. So anyway.
So how's your week been?
It's been good. Yeah. It's been outstanding, actually. It's been a very nice week, kind of steady. And I like steady. I like keeping busy. I like rolling. I like moving. I like shaking. I like all that stuff. No twerking involved. So I like all of that right there. Yeah.
Well,
so,
if I could twerk, I would go twerking across the camera right now.
Well, that paints a picture.
Oh boy, jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can't get that.
So my week's been good. Yes.
Good.
I had a meeting in Hunts Vegas, as I like to call it, on Tuesday. That was mind-numbing.
Right. Normally they are.
Yeah. But other than that, I've had a pretty solid week. Things have been progressing in all of my stuff.
Good.
Got a lot of great things coming. We're going to be doing a WTF show tomorrow, and
really
looking forward to that.
Oh, that's going to be cool,
bourbon.
Man. That's going to be cool,
yep.
Man. That's going to be good.
Just glad to be here today. Glad to be smoking what we're smoking.
Yes.
So let's get right into it.
Me too.
Because I took a smell of this thing.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Excited.
Anything Davidoff, I'll take. It's sort of like saying Cadillac, or Corvette. I like any of that. It's very nice. It's not high end, but it's up there. Yeah. So that's kind of nice.
So what's the name of this one?
That. What is it? Avo Maduro? Is that right?
Maduro. It's the Avo Maduro. The cigar of the year size is a number 2, but we're actually smoking the Robusto because as we all know, cigar sizes are based on time,
Right.
and we have the time for a Robusto.
Right.
Not
And we wanted to
not
make
a-
sure that the one that's actually in the pack is still also in the humidor. So
Right.
we took the hit for you to do the smaller one,
There
But
you are.
the shorter one, I should
I
say.
never looked. Whose cigar of the year was the Avo Maduro #2? It should be on that sign sitting
On
next
this
to it.
sign, let's see.
Waiting.
Avo Maduro, developing palates.
Waiting.
Developing palates. That's their
Developing
cigar
palates.
of the year.
Okay, there it is. Developing
There it is.
palates. All right.
That's a
Okay.
cigar blog that's
Is
going for new cigar smokers. Or new
Okay.
cigar smokers.
So
Gotcha.
I'm going to get right into this.
Oh, roll with it.
You cut yours and get it ready.
Yeah, big time. I'll take it.
The smell is indeed deep and dark. I was thoroughly impressed with the smell. I was so impressed with the smell that it chose my libation for today.
Really? Okay.
because
and what is your libation?
My libation for today is Padron Silver Tequila,
Okay.
which has kind of like I know this is blasphemy to some people, but you'll get over it. It's kind of like, I call it spicy gin.
Wow. Okay.
It's got a very natural kind of flavor to it.
Is it?
Because tequila, it has its own distinct flavor, but this one in particular tastes very earthy, very leafy, and I'm particularly fond of it. There's kind of a stereotype of not smoking or not drinking tequila while smoking a cigar, like because the flavor contrast, but I completely disagree.
Wow.
Completely disagree.
Now, if I may ask, the tequila brands have expanded. Am I right on
Oh yeah,
that?
there's massive numbers of them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, in saying that, then you have a more of a category or more of a selection now, as far as the taste profile goes.
Right.
So now you haven't got just tequila, you've got tequila and whatever
Yeah.
kind that you want.
Yeah.
That's right.
Funny story was, I can't remember the name of the tequila now. It's in kind of a squarish bottle. When my brother got married, he had this bottle of this, and I hope him or his wife are watching, so they can comment on it, because I can't remember what it is.
Oh.
But it's an incredibly expensive bottle.
Right.
And I was, I officiated the wedding, so we had the groomsmen, the best man, my brother, and they all sat down with this bottle, and they drank everything but this much, and they gave the rest to me.
Is that the one with a worm in the bottom of it?
No.
Okay.
No,
all
this
right.
is even a more expensive one than that. So
No.
I had that bottle for a year, and I even tried it after a year, and it was still amazing. But it had this. I almost thought it was whiskey when I wasn't paying attention because of what it tasted like, but it was tequila.
Wow.
It was just so friggin' good. Like, so there's spectrums, and it's all what they're made of, because tequila is done with
Agave?
agave. Thank
Yeah.
you. I couldn't remember the name of it. I could see it.
I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan. So, yeah.
Agave. And they also say it has particular traits to it that affect the human mind differently when you're drunk,
That's what I hear.
as opposed to like whiskey.
Right.
So whiskey drunk versus tequila drunk.
Gotcha. You've had both, I take it. Man of
I've had both.
experience.
Yes.
Okay.
I am indeed a connoisseur of that.
Okay.
In my opinion, a cigar pairs with a tequila smoother
What's up, Jonesy?
than after a bite of alcohol, because, as you said, it's very distinct. That's very true. What's up, Jonesy? I got the Avo, and I look forward to this one once this Monte Cristo is done. Well, you need to finish that Monte Cristo.
Oh,
Um,
my. Yes. Woo.
Okay, so tell us your thoughts on it while I light mine up.
The Avo Maduro, broadleaf on the outside, of course, Dominican on the inside. Now, this is, I don't know how. Okay. All right. Let's clear the air.
Okay.
Let's clear the air here. All right. This has got a Dominican filler, right? But in some instances, you have some people saying it's 25-year-old tobacco. Okay. Whatever. Some people say there's 5 different Dominican fillers on this.
Right.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, because when you go the spectrum of that, just smoke it.
Nice.
And this does have Dominican tobacco on the inside. And Davidoff, of course, and Hinky Kilner, or Hendrik Kilner, so he goes by Hinky, He's the master blender for Davidoff, knows what he's doing. And Hinkie is one of those kind of guys of Davidoff he is literally that good. He is a savant of tobacco. He literally sits in a cigar shop or in this particular case, in a barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they will give him different cigars to smoke.
Yeah.
And he will guess that tobacco, the region of the tobacco, and the smoke itself.
Gotcha.
I mean, he'll nail it. So you're looking at somebody who knows what they're doing, and Davidoff does.
Right.
They're creme de la creme, top of the line. They know what the heck they're doing. They're a Swedish company out of Dominican, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, they're severely good. But this particular thing, I was noticing that the wrapper is extremely toothy, very almost a rough type feel to it.
It is. I think it adds to the aesthetic to it.
Yeah, it does. It has sort of that almost unshaved look, if you will, So that and it's also a thicker type wrapper than what I'm used to on a cigar. So this is going to sound wrong. So it's good quality. That's what I want to say.
Right.
All right. I won't say durable, but it's not durable. But yeah, good quality tobacco. So it's a good roll, if you will.
A good roll.
Yeah. So and draws like a straw.
It does. I'm using a V-cut.
My God.
So real quick, thank you, Samantha, for hanging around.
Yes. Thank you,
Miss Stronger. And I want to give a special shout out to that commenting bastard right there named Daniel Brackett, who is my brother, who while on here texted me and said, "Devin, check your chat, jackass."
Uh-oh.
So,
he's being kind.
He is being kind.
Well, that's nice, isn't he?
Gary was talking. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Man.
Let me go back to what Gary was saying, because I never thought of it. We did go to the Robusto for time's sake.
Right.
And I recently was hearing, and I can't remember the cigar they were describing, but they use they actually wrap it different than everything else in their lineup in the Robusto size, because you can wrap a lot of Robustos with half a leaf.
Sure.
So you get a single leaf, which allows you to choose a heavier, thicker leaf on the board.
Yeah, very good.
So I do wonder if we would have smoked the number 2, if it would have had the same wrapper thickness.
Very good.
That's a good point. You know what? I haven't actually thought of that, because I think there's a misconception that they'll just make a bunch of cigars the same length and just cut them, which I'm sure there's some companies that do that, but most of them probably don't. They make the length to the length that they need to be. But I didn't thought about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So what happens, of course, is that there's different rollers for different sizes. And that's what you'll have. You'll have different rollers for different sizes. You'll have one for Corona. You'll have one for Robusto. You'll have one for Churchill. And of course, your number 2. Normally your number 2 is going to be a torpedo. That's normally, if you hear the term number 2, it's going to be. Chances are it's going to be a torpedo. That's just the way it is.
I've really taken to liking torpedoes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that I can cut small and then kind of work my way up.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it fits inside the jaw good too. If you're a chewer, torpedo fits right inside the jaw. They're good.
Speaking of fitting right inside of the jaw, if you like what you see, everybody smash that like button real quick.
Big time.
We would really appreciate it. We'd see it pop up on our screen, so I know it when you're doing it. We'd appreciate it. You like what you see? We're on Facebook and YouTube.
And subscribe, please. Share, please share. Please. My heavens.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
You know that. Come
on. And we like caring big time.
Well, kind of.
But
cheers.
Yes, indeed. As far as the Avo goes, though, it's they make hardly anything bad at all. They just don't. They've been around for a long time. Avo Evasian, of course. He is the leader of this particular brand right here. Of course, got with Davidoff and done that, and shared his stuff. And he's a Avo, and a lot of you don't know Avo, not necessarily sure whether you care or not, but I figured I'd share this with you anyway. Avo Ubazian was a pianist. He was a musician, and Avo knew his stuff. Yes, indeed. You would find him on a piano. I mean, if there's a piano around, Avo was on it. Big old wide hat.
Is that different from a piano?
Well, being a pianist?
No, a piano versus a piano.
Piano? It could be.
I'm making fun of you.
Yeah, I know. Coat head. Never mind. So what we're doing anyway, Avo, any of you ever heard of was it In the Rain? Dancing in the Rain? No, Walking in the Rain.
Singing in the rain.
Very good.
In the rain.
Outstanding.
What a marvelous feeling.
He wrote it.
I wrote it.
He wrote it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did he really?
He did.
That's insane. I did not know that.
Yep. So yeah, he is. He's got some pretty good roots in the music industry and knows what the heck he's doing. So Avo ended up going to Hinkie, and of course they ended up being big buddies. And of course Avo passed away, I guess, probably some 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got to meet him one time, and that was all. And he was in good shape then. He really was. He was in very good shape for his age. Gosh, man, he was about, I think he was 85, something like that. Anyway, great guy, very down to earth. Knew some English. You know, he could talk to you, but not a whole lot. But he can make some good cigars, man. I'm telling you. And he brought it to the table. He did.
That bottle from my story was a Bacardi 12-year. That's what my brother tells me.
Bacardi 12-year made. Note made. Duly noted.
So,
got it.
Mr. Gare Bear.
Yes, indeed.
Plume.
What is
Plume?
Yes. Oh, very good.
Look at that picture.
Very good, John. Very good.
Man.
Good job. Yeah. Big time.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, that's Avo himself, the big old hat. And you never saw him without the hat. And he was like Matlock with the suit. You never saw him without a white suit on. He's always got a white suit, the tie and everything. Very good. Yeah, well, a little bow tie type thing, anyway.
Jeez.
But yeah, he was always like that. And I remember going to my first RTDA is what it used to be called. And it was where everyone come together and all the cigar industries would come together. And of course they would introduce their new line. And that has been great, man. I loved that. Wow. So my very first RTDA, and I remember going up the escalator. I remember going up the escalator, and I remember looking up on the escalator, and I remember him walking by, and I just went. I was just in awe. I was just. I couldn't find. I was just watching him walk. As the escalator was coming up. And he just kept walking. I went, that's Avo. It's Avo. And so, yeah, of course I ran him down, after I got my picture made with Dion Gialotti, of course.
You got all these people you've met.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm never going to meet any of these kind of people.
Well, I tell you, man, anyway. Yeah. So
it's always good to be with a business when they're in that growing stage.
Yeah.
Employees
That's
now
so
that
true.
we're this mega cigar shop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it really was. That was a good time.
I told Harris he goes to factory.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be one of the employees he takes.
You would never forget it. You would never forget it, and you would have the time of your blessed life. Oh my God, you will.
Harris.
Oh Lord, you will
Harris.
have a ball. You will have a blast.
So
yeah. But yeah, that was a great time right there, and enjoyed that. Enjoyed meeting Avo. My next, I saw him one time in a glance. I'm sorry, but I did not know who he was. Talking about Hendrik Kilner. I saw him at a glance one time, and I said, he's somebody I've seen before, and I can't place his name. And it was Hendrik Kilner, and I was, and that's another one I would love to have my picture taken with right there.
there you go.
Yeah. So
Facebook candy.
Yeah, buddy.
So today, kind of the subject we're rolling around here is plume, which is different from mold.
Now, is it ever?
I had to educate myself on that because I saw a few cigars at one point and I went there. Everybody was talking about Plume and how, oh, it's really good. And I'm like, oh man, then these have a lot of Plume. Guy walks up and he goes, that's mold. That's not Plume. You don't want to smoke that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a little bit of a slight education on it.
Yeah.
Right, John?
I believe so, but you guys are on camera. I just make pictures.
Okay.
Just make pictures. Okay. Well,
so,
yeah. Oh,
kind of what Mr. Gary has shared with me is Plume is the good way to see it is kind of like a shiny bit that comes, you can see on your cigar.
Mm.
So when that's there, apparently that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like a fine wine aging. It's like a fine cigar. Aging.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So you tell us in a more technical and expertise, what is Plume? And there's some great pictures to share.
Very much so. Plume, of course, is when there's a chemical stage that a cigar goes through. Okay, so you're looking at about the first 24 hours, about the first 24 to 48 hours. Okay, when the cigar is rolled, right? So when it's done, you can smoke the cigar right there. The roller gets finished with it. Lets it dry out, man. You snip it, you cut it, you got all those flavors hitting you. It's fantastic, all of that, which is great. But the thing is that around about a 24, 48 hour period, you've got a chemical process that goes on with all these tobaccos. And what they do is they combine and they bind and they marry. And they start.
They get all committed. To one another.
All that stuff. Start getting engaged and all that stuff. So anyway, you get all of this stuff, and when that happens, these oils start mixing. Now, when you start getting that going on right there, there's an aging process that goes on.
Right.
The problem is that if you leave the cigar in its wrapper or in a tube or in a wherever a natural area is, the cigar doesn't necessarily age that well.
Right.
It does not. What you're looking at, this gets into the humidor part right here. So you're looking at the humidor. The humidor is normally, majority of the humidors are made of Spanish cedar.
Right.
Okay. So Spanish cedar has not necessarily a bite to it like American cedar does. American cedar has a hard bite. You can smell American cedar down the road. But when it comes to Spanish cedar, it's got a very nice aroma to it. And it has a cedary flavor or a cedary smell to it. But it also has detoxifying properties to where when you put the cigar in, it starts withdrawing moisture from the cigar. It makes the cigar sweat as well as pulling the old or bad oils out. It actually helps combine the good oils inside.
It's having hot flashes.
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that, honestly. So what happens is that when these things in the humidor and the Spanish cedar comes, they start getting together, if you will.
Right.
The oils start withdrawing outside the cigar, and they continue to do so. And what happens is that the constant temperature and humidity on the cigar itself, it starts sweating. Okay. Yeah. So when it starts sweating, you're looking at something of a bad oil process being released. When that happens, right behind it is the oil, is the good stuff, is the gold oil. So you've got all of that stuff, and now it starts coming out. So depending on the tobacco, it's age process, and it has to be a thicker type tobacco. It has to be something that has more of a full flavor, more of a nice thickness to it. So and that's what happens.
Sun-growns in Connecticut.
Yes, yeah, the sun-growns, the Maduros. Those right there, the Connecticut's very rarely, to be honest with you. Not a whole lot of Connecticut's do it, but they do. It's a rarity. And one of my one of my found, I'll go with a small story. I'll keep it short. So we're on our first year at Cigars More and Trustful, right? On the first year. I don't know. This is 15 years ago. I guess, Harris, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's 15, 16 years ago. Okay. So Louis, the Fuente cigar rep, okay, great guy. God, Louis is so good. So Louis comes by and he has a box. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Curly head Maduros.
I've heard you guys talk about it.
Okay, the curly head Maduros, if you know, none of you know. Anyway, the curly head Maduros are a cheap cigar. They're a short filler. And the short filler means that they take the clippings from the long filler and they machine roll I take it back. They hand roll, but yet what they do is they machine roll them, but they hand do the caps on the end. So anyway, it's a very inexpensive cigar. Gosh, they're probably $4, maybe $3 a piece, maybe something like that. Louis comes up, he throws the box on the counter. It's still closed. He said, I figured you guys might want this. I said, it's a box of curly heads. Why would we want them? He said, open it. I opened the box. Every one of the Maduros are plumed.
Wow.
Beautiful. You could see your reflection in them.
Jeez.
And I looked at Harris and I said, you need to take a picture, put it on the wall, do something, because you'll never see that again.
Yeah.
That's a whole box of plume Maduros ready to go. Mm-hmm. And I was and he says, isn't that beautiful? And I said, holy moly, that's pretty good.
On this one I'm smoking.
I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, plume basically is it's almost like if you ever look inside of a paint job on a car and it's got the metallic little flakes in the paint job, plume is the same way. So what happens is the oil comes out and it crystallizes.
Right.
Okay. And when it does that, it has reflective property to it. So as you're looking at the Maduro or sun-grown, you're looking at it and it'll have little specks on there, and it won't do it all at one time. Some do. Yeah, some do. But yeah, you'll see little specks on there that are just little metal flake looking things. And that's your plume. That's what you want. That's the pinnacle of the aging of the cigar. That's as high as it'll go. It will not age anymore. Right. If it ages anymore, the oil start escaping. The flavor starts going away. If you pull the oils outside, you can't put them back in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, there's a misconception that some people have of this cigar's been sitting here for 10 years. It's aged and ready. I'm like, most cigars don't last that long, man.
That's correct. Yeah.
A year, maybe two. Maybe.
Well, no, you've got some. I had a Grey Cliff one time, and I thought, man, a Grey Cliff. It's got a Cameroon wrapper on there. I said, I'm going to take this Grey Cliff, because at that time, Grey Cliff was the top notch. They were 5-star, and man, they were all that in a bag of tricks. And I took the Grey Cliff and I aged it, I guess, 5 years. I took it after 5 years. I smoked it, and I said, no way. You got to be kidding me. Davidoff. Their stuff's aged 3 years off the top. They said it's ready to go. Don't age it. Smoke it. Get it done. So
smoke it and get it done.
Yeah, so that's good. But the majority of the Nicaraguan type tobaccos, the thicker, full body type stuff, even the heavier Dominican type tobacco will age quite well. I've got some Opus X as well as some stuff out there that's been aging close to 20 years.
I'll tell you, you were absolutely right about this, because you told me it had a great Maduro smell. It's got a nice spice to it, but it's not as dark as some of the Maduros typically do.
Yeah, right.
And I'm telling you, I just got a nice kind of a light aged leather out of it.
There you are.
That I'm just like, to me, it's the classic cigar taste I just got out of it.
Very nice.
It's wonderful.
Very good.
I love the fact that this Avo has changed flavor as I've been smoking.
Yeah, and it will as it goes down. It's quite. This is a classy cigar too.
It is. It's got a nice logo to it, which is something we didn't talk about, is the band.
True.
This band is a.
How you like it? You like it?
I love flat tones mixed with semi-gloss tones, because as opposed to full gloss tones.
Right.
This has got a deep navy blue. I wouldn't even call it a navy blue, to be honest with you. Unless that's black and I'm just looking at it wrong.
No, I think it's a dark brown. I think it's just a dark brown. So
it's a super dark color. It
Yeah.
looks blue to me. And then it's got kind of an aged gold on there, not a bright gold, with an off-white. And it's got the A and the V mixed together like they typically do.
right,
Very classic looking band, held on with pectin.
very much. So.
And it's got the name on it. I would say it's very good. I kudos to their artist for this one.
Big time.
It gets my attention. I like it.
Big time.
What's up, John?
I was just thinking, what are we on? Episode something in the teens? And
Yeah.
you talk about a band every week. And, if you had a competent producer, he would come up with a picture of these bands.
Yeah, so everybody can see what I'm talking about right now. That'd be wonderful.
I tried to hold mine up earlier, but
So,
we're looking at.
We're going to attribute that wonderful idea to Sean,
best I can
our
do.
kind of VIP in the lounge today. Is he would like, I'm speaking for him right now. I'm sure he's okay with that. He would like you to come up with the logo of the current cigar so people can see the band.
Yeah,
The
agreed.
band of the cigar.
Well,
Yeah,
if it's
band.
not my idea, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Okay, so it's not Sean's idea. It's your idea.
I figured it might be on this right here.
Credit Sean. Don't worry.
Sorry.
But we've been having a great time here today. I hope you got a brief introduction as to what is plume or bloom as opposed to mold. Could you put that other picture of that first picture of
And
plume mold?
Mold is very spotty and it's very obvious. It's real obvious. So
I have a good question for you.
yeah, go right ahead. Though
Just because, like, almost a safety concern. What if you smoked a cigar that had mold on it?
if it's drenched in mold, don't.
Right. Well, you'll
Okay.
know it. But what if you didn't know it and you got down and you just saw it?
It would have it wouldn't have too much of an effect on you. It wouldn't. It may give you a little bit of an itch, but I mean, other than that, it will taste. You'll know it's going to have a musty type flavor to it.
Yeah.
But as far as health concerns go, no, unless you're allergic to it or unless you have maybe allergies to it, hang on tight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough night.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to point that out because some people like me, I mean, if I hadn't have known, I would grab it and go, oh, that's plume.
Sure.
That's bloom. Let's smoke it. And
Sure.
then I'm feeling weird.
Sure.
But here's a good picture, kind of give you an example. It may not be that pronounced and whatnot.
Now let me give you a little bit of an insight here and a little bit of a a note, if you will, and that is that you'll see a lot of cigars that are rolled and they're stuck in tubes, right? Tubed cigar, right? Okay, so inside the tube they've got Spanish cedar on the inside to try to keep the cigar and the flavor of the cigar and keep it preserved. Well, what happens is that whenever you roll a cigar and you're done with it, a lot of the times the cigar is wet. Okay. So when that's done, then they'll take it, they'll stick it in the tube, and then they'll stick it in, and ship it out in a box or whatever. Your tube type cigars are going to have, if you're not careful, they'll have a couple of mold spots on there. Just maybe a few, maybe 5, 6, maybe even 10. Depending on the size, okay. But if you see that, don't shy away from it. Honestly, just don't. Just take your hands, wipe it off, and once you wipe it off, then cut it and light it. It's not going to hurt you. It's gonna be fine. So, but yeah. So that's basically when mold sets in. It's not good.
Right.
But as long as you catch it right there at the end, right there, you're doing
So
fine.
how quickly do you think mold actually starts to appear on a cigar?
Oh gosh. I'll throw that key cliche word out. It depends,
Gotcha.
It's gonna, it's gonna depend on how long it's been, how wet it is, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah, a lot of factors. But if you start seeing mold in your humidor, or if you're getting moldy cigars in your box, tough.
That's just the name of the game.
I'm sorry, but get rid of it. Yeah. Get it done. Get it gone.
Is mold infectious to other cigars?
Oh, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's a bacteria, and it'll get on the other cigars.
Yeah.
And it's very comparable to beetles.
That's some good bits and pieces about that for people who have no idea what it is.
Right.
Just look out for it.
Right.
That's also a good tip for people looking through the humidor and they're picking cigars, and you're like,
Sure.
that's Plum.
Sure.
I'll grab that one over that one. That's not.
Yeah, and I have to say, and to add to that right there, if you go into your local cigar shop and you look, and this one has mold, this one has mold, this one has mold, then I think somebody's attention needs to be,
Yeah.
hey, dude,
Do a PSA. Go tell them.
Yeah, go tell them, please.
SmokingUnderground.com. Thank you for today. Thank you, Mr. Gary.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Devin. Big time.
Thank you, the John Viviani.
Yes, indeed. The great John, man. What a great job.
Remember our 5 locations: John at 280,
yes,
me at Trustville on Highway 11, you at
Vitola in
Vitola,
Mountain Brook.
Mountain Brook.
Yes, indeed.
And
Come by, say hello.
3 other locations I highly recommend you try out.
Right.
I can say I'm also now at Patton Creek on Mondays most of the time.
Oh,
There you
okay. Yeah, that's nice.
And when the manager at Mountain Brook seems to do his every other week vacation, I seem to show up there too. So.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Sean actually reiterated what I just said, so that's good. Yeah. So
Gotcha. Good deal.
anyway, yeah, thank you for joining us here today in your spare time to listen to 2 knuckleheads talk about cigars. And we hope you got something out of it. We really hope to. I'm all ears.
They say time's non-refundable. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Very good, and your time is very valuable.
It
we
is.
know that.
And
quality show for you, even though it's not.
well, some kind of quality
Sometime,
to somebody.
Sometime you won't get your money back.
Hit us up on the social medias, Cigars and More,
Big time.
as well as SmokingUnderground.com.
Yes.
We broadcast here every week from the My Father Cigar Lounge and Studios.
Indeed.
Thank you, My Father Cigars.
Indeed.
Cheers to you.
Yes, indeed.
And remember, hit that like button, that heart, smash,
Share,
subscribe, follow, share,
and share again. Please do. Thank you.
Let everybody know. Okay, so we're going to end it here.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Again.
John. And remember, the 5th of November. No, remember, to smoke is human, but to smoke a cigar is divine.
Right on.